In a recent article, actually the last issue of the periodical Strategy and Business, Choi and Valikangas said that total quality management is an important tool, but it cannot create sustainable value unless it's coupled with more innovative and forward-looking strategies. And certainly quality is no longer a competitive differentiator. It's really just the way that you can enter the market. You have to do so much more. And Dr. Saleh Maleka and Mr. Andrew Cunningham have also talked about the issues of strong competition from conventional banks, the technological changes in online banking, and some of the pressures for globalization. And all of these issues really mean that it's necessary for banks to innovate. And when we talk about Islamic banks innovating, we're not just talking about new products, but we're talking about new products, new processes, and new services, and new ways to be able to build up customer relationships. And the literature shows that there have been many studies demonstrating a positive and direct relationship between innovation and performance. In one US study on commercial banks, the research suggested that both innovation speed and innovation magnitude have beneficial effects on an institution's financial performance. Innovation speed is obviously how fast you bring in new innovations, and innovation magnitude has to do with how many innovations you have within a pool, so it speaks to the breadth of innovation. If we focus on innovation, it means that we're talking about knowledge-based competition. And this implies the development of institution-specific resources and capabilities that are difficult for competitors to imitate. These resources and capabilities can be grounded in the implementation of total quality management approaches. And I'm going to hand the mic over to Essam now so that he can explain our framework.
Thank you. As you can see, that we're looking at the future, and we're trying to really build on all the comments that was presented earlier in the first session as well as in this session. All the points that was raised is really valuable, and therefore we need to build a valuable system, and we're focusing on the management side. If we look at the diagram, and specifically that part which is total quality management, number one, we have to look at the top management. They are very well equipped and aware of the term TQM. They know the aspects of it. They know how to implement it in detail. And if not, they need to really refresh their memory and have a basic knowledge. Why? Because they are going to be the behinders, that they are going to support the whole team in the bank. And therefore, we need to make sure that they will be the official endorsement for the success of the total quality and also the value of innovation in banking. So we're going to also rely on the facilitators. Without having quality facilitators all cross-functional area in the bank, we would have so many difficulties to implement the total quality and the base for innovation. And then we will have to really think about measurement, internal as well as external measurement. We also have to establish rewards based on the measurement, where we may have to really attain certain goals, and we have to look at the external in terms of my competitors and some other banks, maybe a commercial bank, regular commercial banks. So therefore, we have to tie both the measurement and the reward system together to ensure that there is a continuous improvement all the time, and we try to tackle many of the concerns. We come into the communication part, which is a vital a base, that without it we cannot really have the proper environment that allows the bank to have a better performance strategy. So therefore, the communication could really take a vertical as well as horizontal. Vertical between leaders and team members as well as the employees, or between cross-sectional functional area in the bank. If we look at the second part, establishing creative environment. Creative environment is based on knowledge, as we already discussed it, and we have to gain that knowledge based on the Sharia, and therefore we need to have a close interaction between the Sharia advisory board and the employees and the team member in the bank. And we would like to have a genuine interrelationship, not just an advisory board that's sitting there that is not involved with the daily transaction, and also try to provide a strong leadership into the banking industry. They have to live with the daily transaction, they have to live with the people and try to really empower them so they will become very equipped and they will be able to establish the creative environment that allows them to be very sensitive to the market and the intense competition that the Islamic Bank are facing. If we look at the next point, you can see me going like express train because I'm sensitive to the note, and inshallah I won't get the note. So if we look at the innovation speed and the innovation magnitude, like my co-author talk about, that will automatically give me a base for innovation performance. And if we look at the two dimensions, that total quality and the innovation performance, both they will automatically contribute to the customer capital. And what do we mean by the customer capital? Is our potential customer, the current one, and the potential customer that they will be referred from the satisfied customers that we are dealing with. And therefore, we have to look at the market share, its improvement, and also we have to listen carefully to the needs of our customers. And we have to really rely also on both the private banking as well as utilizing that technology like my colleagues mentioned, and utilizing the internet, and there are many good examples. I recommend reading the paper which has more detail. If we look at the feedback, you can see from that we have established that particular system. What we really ask some banks to open their arm and allow us to spend time with them and try to really find how we empirically find that the suggested framework will be successful, so we'll find some shortcomings and try to improve them and try to report later on for many of the banking, Islamic banking institutions to benefit from such an opportunity. And especially if we have many examples that we can compare, we can see how this particular model can be well received and very well accepted by many banks, not only just one particular bank. Also, we can invite some of the institutions that they help in bank, like the International Development Bank, that we would like them to also consider establishing a base knowledge, information available about all the differences among the jurists and all the differences among different applications, and try to really have this as a database, and rich database that allows them to process in the future and do much better job. If we look at leadership, it has to be based on consultation, and then Sharia board, as I mentioned, trust-based environment between employees and also between customers and top management, communication, which is very important, and culture adaptation in terms of training. We need to emphasize the training must really be on ongoing basis, and it should really be established, and try to energize the teams among the different individuals in the bank to take leadership in terms of internal training. And that is better than having some external training at the beginning. You may need a shot at the beginning, but later on you have to build your own infrastructure in establishing a proper team-based environment. Many of the employees, they come from a commercial-based environment with non-experience in terms of Islamic principle. We need to really focus on training them and make sure that they are a good example. They really know what the Sharia says about many of the different issues, and also they are well equipped all the time and being closer to the Sharia board on ongoing basis, and have conferences taking places, and also allow some of the researchers to go to banks and then spend time, economists, people in area of finance and financial analysts, and then management specialists, and have them and the Sharia experts get together and spend 3 months and try to iron many of the problems that are facing Islamic Bank. And I think we can invite many of the Islamic institutions to start really thinking about those suggestions that we would like to have. And I thank you. I try to really be as fast as possible.